Hey guys, so I have a UU team analysis video here on a team that I made with JJ the Lame Gamer. You can see some recordings on his channel of when we've used this team in the past couple weeks, but let's just get right into it. So we planned on making a wall breaker balanced team with Choice Spec Chandelure and Choice Banded Haxorus. Now, on both of these, we're running plus attack or plus offensive natures. So we're not running, we're running neutral speed. So I have Modest here and Adamant here. And the idea is we're not really trying to outspeed anything with this team. What we're really wanting to do is just bring one of the two in, or even lead with one of these two guys, and try to get as most damage as we can off on the other, on the opponent's side of the field, especially if they're ill-equipped for this. Now, Chandelure has maybe a handful of counters in this team. For that reason, we're running Trick and Energy Ball. Energy Ball for the Quagsires and Swamperts that can eat any of these two hits of the stab. Trick for Blissey and Snorlax, which can come in on any move at all. So the idea behind that is, you know, expect when your opponent's going to bring in Bliss or Snorlax, trick them to Choice Specs, and you pretty much make them useless for the rest of the game. Banded Haxorus is a complete monster, and you saw the special attack stat over here for Chandelure. Haxorus has similar physical attack. It has Mold Breaker, so it can break through Sturdy, it can break through Levitate, I don't know, Wonder Guard can break through any of these things. We're running Dual Stab, and the reason is we know that UU has a decent amount of fairy types in the tier, and you never want to lock yourself in on Outrage when your opponent still has a Florgist or a Sylveon or something like that. So we're running Dragon Claw just in case. If your opponent does have a fairy type, you can go for Dragon Claw, try and kill what's in front of you, or Scout See if your opponent's going to switch in. If you go into Outrage, you lock yourself in and you're stayed in there for the next turn. Earthquake, again, if your opponent doesn't have a flying type, Earthquake hits anything in tier. And Poison Jab is really to revenge kill fairy types like Florgist and Sylveon. Next, we have Defensive Porygon 2. Defensive Porygon 2 is just the best defensive Pokemon in the UU tier, in my opinion. The only thing it ever has to worry about is fighting types, and if you have good team synergy, if you know how to play your opponent, then you never really have to worry about it. Defensive Mandibuzz is, I think, another great defensive mon in this tier, and has such perfect synergy with Porygon 2. Even though they're both, they both can't really deal with fighting types. If you're running Mandibuzz, you're running fully defensive, it can deal with most of the setup, physical setup sweepers in the tier, like for Alligator, Lucario, Gyarados, there we go. You can, you know, once they get a +1 or something like that, you kill them easily with Foul Play. Taunt is good to stop support mons, or something like Fortress, making it completely useless. Your opponent has to switch out. Bruce is obviously for recovery, and Defog is needed because with Haxorus, Chandelure, and Porygon 2, JJ and I came to realize that we do not do well with spikes around the field. We don't particularly mind Stealth Rocks, even though Chandelure does. But spikes or toxic spikes can be very detrimental to our team, so we decided having a defogger would help. Plus, this thing gets overcoat, so it doesn't really have to do any sort of powder moves. Next, we're running an offensive Stealth Rock Celebi, and this is really just here to apply pressure. It also helps check some of the other fighting types in the tier as well with Psychic. Leaf Storm for ground types. Earth Power is pretty much coverage move, you know, just nothing special there. And then we're running Mega Sharpedo in the back as the last sweeper. We're running Adamant because I felt that Jolly Sharpedo is actually not as powerful. We do run the risk of losing to other Mega Sharpedos if they are running Jolly, but you know, you're making a trade here. If you still have Porygon 2, then you should be fine against Mega Sharpedos. But this is the basic team breakdown. Not very long lasting, but in looking at this team, I know that this team has several issues, and a lot of the issues actually happen to be on another team that I had made a while ago. Now, this team was focused around Zoroark, but it has pretty much the 4 biggest threats to the Porygon 2 choice team. Number 1 is Sulfested Conquidor. Now, Conqueror is able to eat any single hit from the team that I just showed. It can take a Psychic from Celebi, it can take any move from Sharpedo or from Mandibuzz, Porygon 2, completely wall Chandelure. At best, you can kill it with a Banded Outrage from Haxorus, but if Conk has any sort of defensive EVs, for some reason this thing just lives. Mach Punch, Oko's, Mega Sharpedo, regular Sharpedo, Drain Punch and Ice Punch can deal with Mandibuzz, and of course Drain Punch will 2-hit KO Porygon. Like I said, you can take a Psychic from Celebi, kill it with kill it with an Ice Punch, or kill it with Knockoff if you're using it instead of Poison Jab. Knockoff kills Conk, kills Chandelure rather. Ice Punch kills Haxorus. This thing is the #1 threat to the team. Number 2 is actually Spec Sylveon. Now, Sylveon does have base 60 speed. That's not really a lot, but if you can switch in Sylveon on something like Sharpedo or Mandibuzz, your opponent's going to be forced to switch. If you're using the Porygon 2 team, have to switch into Porygon 2 just to take one hit from this thing. If Sylveon ever does get a kill, then you can go into Haxorus and kill with Poison Jab. A lot of people in the ladder don't really expect Poison Jab on Haxorus anymore. I don't know why, but you know, the only two ways is to revenge kill Sylveon with Haxorus or to try and eat 2 hits of Hyper Voice with Porygon 2. Next, Mega Aerodactyl. Now, Porygon 2 absolutely walls Mega Aerodactyl, but let's say I was using this team and Conk plus Darmanitan is able to take down Porygon 2. Aerodactyl just has a field day. Earthquake, Stone Edge, Pursuit, all take down Chandelure. Stone Edge has a chance of 2-hit KOing Haxorus or OHKOing with a crit. Aerial Ace and Pursuit can deal with Celebi. Stone Edge can deal with Sharpedo if it comes in on rocks and stuff like that. Like, there are tons and tons of things that Aerodactyl can do once Porygon 2 is dead. And the last third is Darmanitan. I kind of put Darmanitan last because even though Darmanitan is powerful and you see it has a similar base stat to Haxorus, being that you would need to be Scarfed even to outspeed your +1 Sharpedo, I don't really see this as so much of a threat. You just have to know how to manage it well. But that was team analysis on this team. I will be posting a recording of some games so that you can see this team in use. If not, you guys can go to JJ's channel and see how we use it in the past couple weeks. So, see you guys later.